Big A, I submitted my first college application. Guess who's majoring in comp sci and will be a barista? I'm gonna guess you. Based, I guess. Based. Congratulations. Good luck. It is a tough time for comp sci graduates. No one can deny. Dude, I actually didn't find a place to include this in Marketing Monday, so I'll show you now. There's this meme, are you hired, son? And then he says no. And basically I've been compiling a lot of what I've seen about people's labor stress right now, especially searching for white collar jobs. Just a lot of this, okay? I've compiled a ton of it. And, you know, again, I have this theory that the labor market is not as healthy as appears, okay? This is my running theory. And I don't want to get too into it because I've already made my case, right? So I didn't plan to make a video on this, but I'll mention a couple things. One thing that was interesting that I noticed was like, this is the subscriber growth for the average large subreddit, okay? So this is like our politics or our gaming or our news, or it sort of tracks the growth of Reddit, okay? An even amount each year. This is the growth for our layoffs. This is the growth for our Canada jobs. This is the growth for our, I think it's resume help. Notice a difference. Notice a pattern that breaks this normal steady trend. It really starts to spike late 23. And by the way, this doesn't even include the 2024 numbers because Reddit stopped reporting the API. They cut it off. So you can only see late 23, but there's very clearly like a vertical line around the time we started talking about this. So just interesting. Why don't we just make more jobs? Why don't you do that? Warden here, hire some people from chat. Why don't we hire some people? Yeah, RCS majors so depressing. I mean, you can just see it. You see it on top the top posts on all these different subreddits, and they're clearly anecdotally some issues. Big A, my biggest weakness is that I lie about all my strengths. Should I say that on my resume? Yeah, you should definitely say it. You should say my biggest weakness is I always tell a lie, and my biggest strength is I always tell the truth. Give me a riddle 3, and I shall work for thee. And if they can solve it, they get your employment. And if they can't, then you're homeless. What a tricky demon you'll be. Did you see the Riot layoffs? I did. So another thing on that, just while I'm continuing the subject, I did see the Riot layoffs. Riot Games put out a post. Again, I am so League of Legends addicted that I'm like checking League of Legends subreddit and stuff. And they put out a post called an update on how we're evolving League. And I was like, oh damn, new balance patch? New changes? And it turns out it's like, hey, we're laying off a bunch of people. What the fuck? Why would you call it that? An update on how we're evolving League is not a way to say that we're laying off a ton of staff. That's crazy. That is not a normal title. That is no balance patch at all. This isn't about reducing headcount to save money. Okay. Okay. Come on, bro. Yes, it is. Of course it is. That's what it is. You don't have to lie. Anyway, they're laying off a bunch of people. And one of the people who got laid off, there's a lot of injustices with a big layoff. You know, people that really gave their heart and soul. I mean, I'm reading this book on Blizzard, and it is filled with stories of people who like really went the extra mile to help get classic Blizzard games over the finish line. You know, StarCraft Brood War, Warcraft 3, WoW, and like just got financially shafted afterwards. You know, worked extra crunch hours and then got shafted afterwards. But one layoff in particular from this Riot one really struck me, and it was this one. This guy, Ben Rosado, made the $500 Ari skin. I know he earned his salary, bro. I know for a fact this dude you could afford to keep him on. That's crazy. Anyway, the moral of the story is it should have been $700. Clearly the skin was too cheap and Riot cannot afford to keep the artists on. We have to make this more expensive. And if only we, the consumer, had bought more $500 Ari skins, maybe he could have kept his job. So you're saying I should drop out from my computer science degree and play League of Legends all day? That's not exactly what I said, but it is what my actions would have you believe. Because not only did that work for me to getting a tech job, but it's what I'm doing right now. So bar for bar, I can't really denigrate it. Although your username being homeless man off the perks is not promising. Not promising. There's white collar tech finance middle class jobs you're seeing more because they're being more vocal, more distant to you. It makes more sense. You're not gonna be on Reddit and taking names. I have talked about this. I think that many of the well-paying white collar jobs are being replaced with worse-paying part-time or gig work jobs. That doesn't seem to me like a healthy situation, but you know, the unemployment number might not reflect that. Is it crazy to say who cares about a lack of white collar jobs? Get back to the mines, Californians. It's not just people in California, right? It's all across the nation. Every state is encountering this problem. But no, it's not crazy. I think it's a great attitude to have. I think you're right. I think America should pivot to a 100% mines-based economy, and that all of our workers should be employed, quote, in the mines. The more we have low-paying, dangerous, blue-collar mining work, the better it is for this country. And ideally, it wouldn't be just adults, it would be children as well. I would love it if we had a Australia-type economy, where half of our economy comes from mining rocks out of the ground, and the other half comes from inflating the value of houses. I think our economy right now, with all the tech and the energy and the growth, I think that's not good. I think we need to go pure Australia, 100% Australia pilled. That would be awesome. Wait, I watch Marketing Mondays with my giver of birth, and she thinks that Gen Z workers are lazy, and I keep trying to tell her that she's wrong, but I don't know how to. Show her that she's fucking wrong by going to your room and playing League of Legends. Show her that she's fucking wrong by grinding up that fucking ladder and tell her how lazy that is. Skip class, don't apply to jobs, get on that fucking ladder, climb it up, and show her that you got hustle. Show her that LP, then she'll be fucking sorry. Show her that diamond. I literally did this to my parents. I literally showed my dad that Dad, I'm diamond. You don't understand how hard that is. It can work out. Your dad seems so nice. Say it's cool. No, my dad was not nice at the time. My dad has become nice with age. My dad was not so nice about it at the time. Caused quite a bit of strife in our relationship in previous years, but it all worked out. Big A, did you hear about the OpenAI trademark lawsuit? Apparently some guy created OpenAI before OpenAI. I think I would take the obvious bet that OpenAI will not have to change their name and they're gonna win. You know why? Because they have a lot more money. They have a lot more money, a lot more importance, and they're tied up with Microsoft, and I just don't think a small company is gonna get them to change their name, but we'll see. What do you think of the ASML fall off? I'll talk about it. Maybe you saw a clip I made where I talked about the way the old chip market works and how there's a Dutch company called ASML that makes the machines to make all the tiny little chips. They were supposed to release their earnings tomorrow, but they leaked a day early, like a Pokemon leak. They leaked a day early and they were bad. They were shockingly down. People just weren't buying as many of the machines as they thought. Part of it could be because that they're banned from selling a lot of them to China. And China's one of the biggest growth areas for purchasing these. Part of it could be, you know, you only need the machine one time. You buy the machine, you don't need it again for a while. It's cyclical. But whatever reason, they fell off. And so it, I mean, temporarily they fell off, but it didn't go that well. And so there was a big sell-off. ASML lost like, I don't know, 40 billion in value today or something. And it impacted other chip stocks like NVIDIA and others. Little update. Nothing insane, nothing crazy, just worth talking about, I guess. But the second thing is I have just about, and I'm like close, finished this book. I'm on Blizzard, The History, Rise, and Fall of Blizzard by Jason Schreier. And I have some good news to you. Since I'm about to finish it, I thought, damn, this is a good book. I want to talk about it with chat. And then I thought, what if I take a long shot? And I reached out to the author and said, hey, look, I know you're doing a book tour. This is a little non-standard, but you know, we have a pretty big audience, people that are interested in this kind of thing. I bet you get a few 100,000 views on YouTube if we did it. And he said yes. So we're gonna have the author come on. We'll talk about the book. And if you're thinking about buying it, don't do it yet. Buy it after we do the interview so he gets a little bump and we might get some more interviews like this. Hold the line, dude. Well, plus I'll have some interesting facts that might sell you on it. This will be cool. I'm like a little nervous, a little excited. We're gonna try and get a real author to do interview on Marketing Monday.